republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're going to bring the meeting back in order in open session, and I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda and the formal agenda. The actual agenda we are going to be removing item 7C, and that item will be taken care of at a later date. So just need a motion to that effect.
So move.
Second.
A motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Fang? Ms. Fang?
Yes.
Mrs. Corley?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Hollering?
Yes.
Mrs. Drake?
Yes, thank you. Motion carries 6-0. Moving on to public comments. Any public comments?
It's the first day.
Okay. All right, moving on to item 6, curriculum. Mrs. Benton.
Wait. Yes, before we do public comments, as a part of the consent agenda, the Board of Education has authorized us to hire a new assistant principal for Northridge, one of our own Danville High School graduates. Miss Paps is going to introduce her. Want to take a moment to do that.
Ms. Hampton, please come up. Please come up. All right. Yes, this is Miss Paulette Hampton. We've got somebody beaming up there for you. All right. Good evening, Dr. Geddes, Board of Education. My name is Kim Pabst, Director of Human Resources, and I am thrilled to announce, as well as Mr. Gorley, who's over there beaming as well, our new assistant principal for Northridge Middle School, Miss Colette Hampton. This is Miss Colette. She is a graduate and native of the area, graduate from Danville High School, like Dr. Geddes said. She has her general administration degree. She also has a degree in a learning behavior specialist, one degree, that's special education. She has worked in the education field since around 2008. Is that correct? Maybe a little before that?
Way before that.
Way before that.
I was in corrections with Lakeland College.
Yes,
so
that part.
Okay.
Yeah, she did all the corrections things too. Like, that's where she started the journey and really enjoyed it. She brings a lot of knowledge into this area of education. Her experience is both from Texas and up towards Chicago area in Illinois. She has spent so much of her career doing items such as a special education case manager, coordinator, central office director, principal, special education department chair. She's very well versed, as I found out, in special education, which is very exciting. Her strengths include instructional leadership, strategic planning, curriculum development, communications, goal setting, and one of her references said she just has this ability to carry out her visions, and she makes it happen, which is wonderful to hear. She works hard to really get the best from our learners and also to help our staff members to set and achieve high standards and expectations. And we are so happy to have her join our team. Welcome back to Danville District 118. And I know the Northridge administrative staff and the teachers and students are going to enjoy you thoroughly. So thank you for coming to us.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Would you like to say anything?
I'm glad to be back in the Danville area to serve a community that served me well. Sometimes you don't appreciate all the goodness that you have until you no longer have that goodness, and how it developed me and also my children. I want to come back and continue that legacy and continue to help develop the youth and the community.
Thank you.
Very nice. Welcome home. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we'll hear from Ms. Button.
Good evening, Board and Dr. Geddes. Tonight, I have our triannual update of our e-learning plan. And this is just something that we have to do every so often. We have to bring it back to the board and then back to the ROE to make sure that if we need to make any adjustments to it, that it's updated at its finest point. And then we, after you all get a chance to look at it again, that we bring it to the ROE and that everything's nice and tight and updated and working exactly as we need it to. And there's not really been a ton of adjustments to it since we originally made it. The only thing that's really different is that some of our programs that we use might be a little different, or like we have almost everybody uses Google Classroom, which was similar to before, but people are very well versed in it. But really, pretty much everything's all the same. So we did streamline. If you remember the first year, we kind of let everybody pick how they were going to communicate with parents, and we have streamlined that a little bit more. We do make sure that people have access to both paper and digital, and we have like learned what works well for our families, and there's definitely flexibility with things. So but other than that, it's a lot more. It's just been slightly updated from when we were in oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm really tired. So it's just the updates that we need to continue with the e-learning plan, and the e-learning plan is just for when we have emergency days that we can use this instead of taking the day off and losing instruction. And so it's up for your recommendation.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please, Ms. Robinson.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Ms. Halloran,
Yes.
Ms. Corley,
Yes.
Ms. Payne,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader.
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Mrs. Button.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to educational support. Ms. Truex. This is always a fun one.
Good morning. Good morning. Good evening.
Everybody's tired.
I know. Good evening, Dr. Geddes and Board of Education. I'm Kelly Truex, the Director of Educational Support. I am here tonight to recommend that the remaining fiscal year 24 funds from the After School Programs Grant be provided to the Boys and Girls Club for their summer 2024 programming. The After School Programs Grant is funded to provide after-school tutoring for the following schools that are chosen by the state: Northridge, Southwest, Edison, Mead Park, and Mark Denman. During the school year, each school provides after-school tutoring for targeted students. Once that school year is over, then I make an amendment with the remaining funds to be used in the summer. And if we do not spend these funds, then we do have to give them back. So I wanted to make sure that everyone's aware of that. The total grant is for $116,037. The remaining amount after the building expenditures is $50,239. And the Boys and Girls Club serves our students from these schools in the summer programming. And then the funds would be utilized for the stipends and benefits for the extra tutors needed because of the longer day and the additional kids.
Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Okey dokey, roll call vote.
Mrs. Corley,
Yes.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Halloran,
Yes.
Ms. Payne,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader.
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Ms. Truex, and thanks to the Boys and Girls Club for that partnership.
Thank you. Now I would like It Takes a Village to come up, and Mr. Gorley. I believe they're next on the agenda. I'll let them go ahead and introduce themselves.
Good evening, Dr. Geddes, members of the board, Michael Gorley, principal at Northridge Middle School.
We'll stay in hospitals, director.
Jennifer Hoskins, program coordinator.
For It Takes a Village.
For It Takes a Village.
Northridge Middle School has requested that It Takes a Village Mentoring provide mentoring services for the 24-25 school year. These services will begin September 1st and go through May. All mentors will have a background check before entering the schools, and they are going to be mentoring the students who have been with the program since it began 3 years ago, when we began utilizing community agencies to help address the learning gap from COVID-19. The cost will be $20,000 for the year and be funded with district funds.
So move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion?
I had a question. When you say district funds, do you mean building funds or
No,
the
district
district?
funds.
Anything else? Okay, Ms. Robinson.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Mrs. Payne,
Yes.
Mrs. Halloran,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Corby,
Yes.
Mrs. Strider.
Yes, thank you. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Mr. Gorley, Ms. Truex, and congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Hoskins.
And now if Miss Odette would like to come up?
Thank you for the work you do at Northridge.
I think we all know Miss Odette, but I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, I'm Odette Hyatt Watson with East Central Illinois Community Action Agency.
One of my favorite partners.
Oh, thank you.
East Central Illinois Community Action Agency would like your approval to continue with the alternative school program that began in the 23-24 school year. The program will begin August of 2024 through May of 2025. District funds will be utilized for this program at a cost of $200,000. And you have the service agreement and what she provides, which is what she provided last year. We began this program last year.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion?
How many students will you be able to accommodate? Or do you have
In
an
the
idea?
alternative program,
Mhm.
whoever they send us, yeah,
Okay.
What do those numbers usually run?
between 10 to 12 students. Last year we did 13. We had 5 that made some very interesting decisions. And so we had 8 students that successfully completed the program.
Anything else? Okay, Ms. Robinson?
Mrs. Halloran,
Yes.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Miss Payne,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Corby,
Yes.
Mrs. Strider.
Yes, thank you so much. And motion carries 6-0. And we're happy to be working with you again, Ms. Odette.
Thanks so much. I look forward to serving.
Thanks. And
Thank you.
Ms. Truex.
All right, thank you.
And moving on to item 8, special education. Mrs. Nixon's here for us today.
Good evening, Board, Dr. Geddes. Lindsay Nixon, Assistant Director of Special Education. The first item I have is to make a recommendation to continue our contract with Bailey Gilbert, who is the Orientation and Mobility Specialist. She would complete 2 hours per week, which is approximately $25,000 for the school year, which is paid through the IDEA grant funds through the Special Education Office. We would be providing services, IEP minutes, consultation with students, staff, families, paperwork. This is a contract that we did have last year that we would like to continue into this year. There is a legal requirement, of course, that these students have these services on their individual education program as part of special education.
Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions for Ms. Nixon or any discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Ms. Robinson?
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
Miss Payne,
Yes.
Mrs. Corby,
Yes.
Mrs. Halloran,
Yes.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Mrs. Strider.
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Moving on to item 8B.
All right, the next recommendation that I have is that we continue our agreement with Soliant Health for additional services for deaf and hard of hearing special education teacher. This would be our second year in a row for this agreement as well. This is to meet the needs again of students who have these services on their IEP that are requiring these services. We do already employ a full-time teacher within the district, but caseloads are getting larger just like last year, so we needed to reach out to provide additional services. This is for 2 days a week, which is approximately $70,000 for the entire school year, and again, it would be paid through IDEA funds.
Do you have a motion?
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion?
Is this the same role as the speech pathologists serve in the district?
No, this is a deaf and hard of hearing teacher. So while they do work closely together, often speech is certainly addressing whether that's articulation or vocabulary, and then the deaf or hard of hearing teacher is either usually pushing into the classroom or maybe pull out services to address kind of and help support the curriculum that they're learning in general education and sometimes in maybe self-contained special education classrooms too.
Any other questions? Okay, roll call vote, Ms. Robinson.
Ms. Payne,
Yes.
Mrs. Corley,
Yes.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Holler,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader.
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Ms. Nixon.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 9, business and finance. Mrs. Rankin.
Good evening, board. Dr. Geddes, D118 family. I am Narcissus Rankin, Director of Business and Finance. This evening, I am requesting that the board agree to post the tentative 2024-2025 budget. I am proposing an estimated $101,786,782 in revenue and $106,342,475 in expenditures. This is a deficit budget of $4,555,693. Included in the anticipated expenditures are the completion of the Northeast and KDBA projects that are funded by ESSER, and this is the end of the ESSER funding. And the board-approved updates to the 72 edition, the DHS football field and bleachers, the FY24 ending fund balance pre-audit, because I haven't had my audit yet, is $31,501,612. We will continue to see a slight decrease in the total fund balance due to all the changes that we're making within the district. However, we will continue to meet the fund balance level required by board policy. And so I am requesting that the board approve to post the tentative 2024-2025 budget.
Thank you. So this will be a motion for permission to post the
Yes,
budget.
ma'am.
Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Okay, Ms. Robinson.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Mrs. Holler,
Yes.
Mrs. Corley,
Yes.
Ms. Payne,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
and Mr. Schrader.
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Ms. Rankin.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 10, informational items, and item 11, superintendent and board comments. I'm betting you want to do these together.
Yes.
Okay.
First, I'd like to say thank you for the food service department. There was a last-minute grant that came out. It is the local food for schools. It's funding from the USDA and their agricultural marketing services division. They would like us to purchase local, unprocessed, or minimally processed foods to be served as a part of the National School Lunch Program and/or the school breakfast program. We posted the information and asked the farmers. I'm in the middle of a farmer community, right? And so I would like to thank Lockhart Angus. Brett? The District 118 was granted $16,000, and we will be purchasing beef from Lockhart Angus, and they are in Wellington, Illinois. And I just, because they're homegrown, I would like to take this opportunity just to have them say something. Go
Sure,
ahead.
yeah. Good evening, board, Dr. Geddes, Mr. Hart, friends and family of 118. I was just going to give a little farm overview here. This is my dad. He's the owner of Lockhart Angus, Bruce Lockhart. Lockhart Angus is a family-owned and operated farm that has raised registered Angus beef since 1941. They're located in Wellington, Illinois, which is about 30 miles north of here. They sell meat at local farmers market in Danville, so you might have seen them around town. And they have partnered with several restaurants in the area, including El Toro, Poorhouse Bar and Grill, North Pond, Wheelhouse, and The Pump. So they have been in a few restaurants. They offer several meat cut options. I won't get into that, but I will talk about their proposal for the school district would be to offer ground beef, hamburger patties, beef sticks, steak bites, and fajita steak strips. And I'm sorry, it's getting close probably to dinner time for some of you all. But and so I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of overview, and that way you have a face to the name when you see Lockhart Angus.
Thank you and welcome. I know you didn't want to, he didn't want to do too much public speaking, so we partnered with Brett to do it for him. And so let me just say, because we do recognize that Brett works for us, we did publish this. And if we're successful, and I know we will be, and the state knows we will be, so they've already agreed to give us more. I'm working with Mike Marin at Vermilion Advantage so that, because I couldn't get anyone to respond to me, and I don't know if it was because I didn't do it or, you know, I wasn't the one out there and my name wasn't behind it. But I've partnered with Mike, Vermilion Advantage so that no farmer has to say that Brett had an inside connection and that's why he did it. We did ask anyone to participate and you responded to the call and I appreciate it. So farmers going forward, look for the next round, okay? Thank you guys for being willing to partner with us. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I don't know that if everyone caught that, but if you're people, individuals, because our students will be getting your meat, but if individuals are interested in it, they're able to get it at the farmer's market or at even, you have a location, so.
We come to the farmer's market a lot of the time here in Danville, plus we have a store back at our town.
Okay. Thank you. We appreciate your commitment to the district.
Should we thank him for our dinner as well?
Yes.
Yes.
You sponsored tonight's dinner for the Board of Education. We had
Yes, thank
the
you.
beef and
Thank
broccoli.
you.
It was delicious. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Second, I want to say congratulations to Rachel Siebert. She is actually the Illinois Association of Teachers of Mathematics. She is this year's recipient of the Excellence in Secondary Mathematics Teaching Award, our very own person. And so I wanted to say congratulations to her for a job well done. And they're going to have a reception for her downtown. We keep doing great things. I really appreciate y'all. Second, to the 4,091 parents, students and parents who have registered and started with us. Thank you for doing that. I know today was the first day that we were able to open it up. We did have to take a break so that the staff could get students on buses and develop bus lists, et cetera. And so I believe right now just one day, there's another 300 students in the queue for Ms. Robinson to process. Parents, please register your children. It really does help us when you take advantage of early registration so that we can develop appropriate class lists. But to those 4,091 students who did do, we appreciate you. Staff, students, families, welcome back. Again, as I said, registration is open. If your child needs physicals or immunizations, please see your physician, or we have Southern Illinois Healthcare Foundation in the downstairs, located downstairs at Danville High School. They can do them for you as well. Thank you to all of the first student staff for getting our District 118 family to and from school safely today. It is a big job and we appreciate you. I'd like to give a special thank you to the Chicago Bears for hosting the flag football training camp for our team. They went out of their way to make our girls feel welcome, and our first flag football game is August 29th at 4:30. That field is so pretty. She's pretty. Thank you for the hard work for our teachers, parapros, food service, buildings and grounds, custodials, and admins. I want to just thank you for what you have done to get that North Campus up and running. Many people don't know we had 7 days to turn it around because we found out that KDBA would not be able to open because they're still having some construction issues. And in 7 days, they turned it around. Was it perfect? By no means. Was it great? Absolutely. Because no one could have done it better. I couldn't ask another thing from you. So thank you. And then now we have to learn a whole new program, Edgenuity, to get our students up and running. And the staff just jumped in on Monday. We're going to learn it, get them running. And because Eduseer sold to Edgenuity, and now there's no Odyssey wear, and so not a problem. Our staff just said, we got it, and we'll pivot. Phenomenal team. But then separate from that North Campus, Thank you to my staff, the teachers, the parapros, food service, buildings and grounds, and the tech department, the the custodial team. Thank you for making this. We got them all in. We got everyone home, and we fed them in the meantime. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so, board comments, why don't we start down at Ms. Payne and we'll just come this direction.
I want to thank the staff that arranged the opening session at the high school yesterday. Excellent motivational speaker, and some nice little goodies to take home with us. I toured North Academy. I was very impressed by what I saw. Thank you to the Lockhart Farms for that delicious meal we had. And I'm looking forward to watching flag football, which I know nothing about. So, thank you.
I just want to again thank Mr. Truex and everybody on his team that have worked extremely hard to get our North Campus up and running. All the other parts of our team that have worked extremely hard, all of our administrators and teachers. And it's amazing to me, how our district is able to just step up when there is a need and there's collective agreement that we all want to be successful again this year. So I am praying, for this school year, for everybody involved, our first students and all of the transportation, everyone, teachers, administrators, and all of the board members here with me. And so again, we're looking forward to a great year for our school district. Thank you.
I'm reflecting on the spirit of the Olympics, of which I was a great fan. The pride in our country and the athletes themselves, they set the stage for a culture of pride in our environment and ourselves. And along with that, then I want to acknowledge our own students who so positively presented the enthusiasm for our staff and welcoming them on Monday. How fun was it to see the cheerleaders and the band and the pompettes and the Java truck out there serving. I had the best cup of coffee I've had in a long time. So thank you to the students. I know a lot of adults put a lot of work into that day, but thank you for the students getting up early and coming out there with smiles on their faces and just being so terrific. Then a huge thanks to our admin team, to all of you back there, for your arduous work over the summertime. I know how many hours you put in. It's due to your commitment that our year has started so well. It's hard to encourage you to get rest at the beginning of the year with all that's on your plates, but sincerely, please take care of yourselves. We need you. We need every one of you. And you're already tired, and this is the first day of school. So take some time, take care of yourselves, and know how much we really appreciate all that you do. And you too, Mr. Hart. Yeah.
I just want to say ditto to everything that has been said, but I do want to say this. I have an opportunity to do a lot of traveling and with the churches that I oversee, and I inquire about how their school districts are doing. I just want you all to know that you all here in Danville, District 118 is one of the best districts that I know of throughout the entire state, and that includes parts of Iowa, because I have an opportunity, as I said, to speak with individuals, and so I want to say to you all really look good, and I pray that you had a blessed summer, and in your looking good, you make your superintendent look good, and she loves looking good. So I just want you all, I applaud you all for what you all have done and continue to do. God bless each and every one of you. And I love that football field.
She's pretty.
I am excited about that. I'm looking forward to the first game. I think it's gonna be Friday.
Thursday is the
Thursday.
flag football.
Thursday
Oh, I'm
first.
sorry. I'm talking about football. Y'all talking about flag
Which,
football.
Oh, no,
which
come
is
on,
football? What do you mean?
Come on, Elder Parks, we're gonna.
What you saying?
Okay. Okay.
What are you saying?
He was in the wrong seat to do that.
Moving on.
Miss Gurley.
You done?
Yes, okay.
I want to thank Mark Demon's staff and families for being patient. I heard their phones went out at dismissal, which we all know that could not have been good. So just thank you for understanding and the patience for that. I want to thank all the IT. Can't forget IT for the KDBA. I know that was impressive turnaround. We were able to tour it last Friday, I believe. Impressive turnaround, guys, for all the staff that pulled that together. So that was nice to see everyone pulling that together. I also want to. I want to bring. I just feel like I have to. The young man that we lost in July to the drowning was one of our students, Mr. London, and I just want to. Our hearts go out to his family. He was a student of ours at Southview. I talked to the principal. He was very well liked, and I just felt like we had to say something to remember him. He won't be starting school with his friends this year, so just our hearts go out to his family.
Thank you. Thanks, Ms. Corley. So I will just echo what a lot of my colleagues have said here. It was a great first day, and that was due to the administrators and the staff and the love of the kids. That North Campus, and just so many things throughout our district. Mr. Truax, from the moment school ended, you were in action. Your team was in action. You never rested all summer long, and I don't know when you're ever going to rest, probably never, but we are so appreciative. We are so lucky to have you and the high level skill in buildings and grounds and your team and the way that you lead them, and we are so grateful. And nothing is perfect, but you get darn close, and we are very, very grateful for your incredible work ethic and the way you draw the best out of your team. You never stopped all summer long, and neither did your teams, and that's the reason we're ready. That's the reason that even in the cases where some buildings like KDB aren't ready, we were able to move so quickly, and you have such a flexible group of men and women, and we are so profoundly grateful, because not every district has that. And we recognize what a feather in our cap you and your team are. So thank you.
We have really, really fantastic crews. They do amazing things. I'm super proud of them.
You do, and I'm going to say, we're going to repeat that so the community can hear it through the microphone. That Mr. Truex said that he has a fantastic team, and he's very, very proud of them and appreciative of them. And I will note that also, you always, when given a compliment, turn it around to compliment your team, which is also the mark of a great leader. So there, Mr. Truex. I got the last word. So Ms. Robinson, I also want to thank her. She has handled so much of registration, and this is the time of year that there's so much pressure on the part of the funnel where registration is going through. And then she's also the board secretary, so she has to handle us, poor thing. And we are really grateful for your standard of excellence and everything that you do for our kids, for us. You have your hands in so many different pieces of this district, and you're basically unflappable, although we try. And we're very, very grateful for how well you take care of everything and your standard of excellence. And then the last thing is, I see the bus company sitting here. First student, we are the first ones to really holler when things don't go well. And to really, we hear about it and we let you hear about it. And I've heard nothing bad. And I want to tell you, but that's saying something. I want to tell you thank you for how smoothly it went. I know that it has been a work, you have really worked hard, and you know, because we've talked, if I didn't think so, I wouldn't be saying it. I really appreciate all that you and First Student have done to get our kids where they need to be when they need to be there. And there could have been glitches I don't know about, but however they were handled with grace and professionalism. So thank you for that. And if there's nothing else, we are adjourned.